Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to play various missions. I'm not sure exactly which because I didn't decide just yet. But let me get started with setting up things on my end, and then we'll get started for reals. And we just survived April's Fool 2018. So you may have noticed there's my little Batmobile in the back. I'll show it to you a bit closer for those who may not have seen it. So we should be good to go. Just give me a second. Not sure why the chat doesn't seem to be working. I'm talking about the YouTube chat. Sadly, I cannot see your comments. So if you guys have made any comments, for some reason, I just can't see it. So I'm gonna say hi. Not sure why for... oh, there we go. Not sure why there was such a delay for the comments. Hello, Kairis. Hello, Costas. Hello, Dalia Algul. No, Nikki, you shouldn't say stuff like that. Well, there's always a first time, Kairis. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Damien. Hello, Dalia. Oh, I said hello to Dalia already. I tried Fortnite and I pretty much gave up. I don't know. I wasn't into it. I'm not a big I'm not a big shooter fan. I probably should make a video about what kind of games I like. I'm not a big shooter fan. I played the first shooter I really played. I had played a few shooters before that, but the first time I really sat down and played a shooter game intensively was Fallout 3, which, as you know, is not really a shooter because there's the whole VAT system where the game pauses whenever you want. Oh, here's a little Batmobile for those of you who didn't see it. So I'm not really a shooter guy. The first real shooter I guess I played was Destiny. That was the first time where I really played some shooter game, and somehow all the time I spent playing Fallout 3 kind of helped me become a shooter player, like being able to play shooter games. Even though it was shooter in slow motion, if you will, so it did allow me to get into actually playing some sort of shoot 'em up game. And by the end of after playing Fallout 3 way too much, I was able at some point to play without even pausing the game. But it took me quite a while. Basically, once I played Fallout New Vegas, I didn't have to pause the game at all. I could do fine even if I let the game play in real time. And then that led me to being able to play Destiny, and Destiny is the first, I guess, real shooter game that I actually played. I played Battlefront a bit. I played what else? So I did try Fortnite. It was fine. I just didn't like it very much. It just wasn't for me, I suppose. Yeah, I did get the head style and the unicorn trinket a few times. Oh, let me show you. For those who don't know, we had a few gifts for April's Fool. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I would be tempted to say a week, but the truth is I don't really know. For the headpiece, it's the infamous tinfoil hat. Let's remove the gold so that you can see the actual color. So basically, in the vault, you could get the infamous tinfoil hat. Not sure if, and I got it multiple times, so it doesn't seem to be that difficult to get. I'm not sure if you get it automatically running the vault or not. I have to admit, really didn't notice at all. And for the unicorn trinket, for those who are wondering, I actually got a couple of that too, I think. Let's try unicorn. For those wondering, I'm using, yes, the search feature basically. So yeah, I did get a few unicorn trinkets. I think I got one from the vault, and I forget where I got the other ones. I might have gotten one last year. I guess that could be possible. So there you go, some nice unicorn trinkets. It's something for those who are wondering that was added as a joke. Basically, there were jokes on the forums at some point about adding some sort of trinket, and then it became a joke about adding a unicorn trinket or something like that. And lo and behold, at some point they added the infamous unicorn trinket to the game, but as a base items as opposed to an actual trinket. Sorry. Although for replay badges, I strongly suggest don't use replay badges for the stabilizer fragmentation. It's 87 replay badges. It's way too much. And for 87 replay badges, you only get a few fragments. If you're going to spend money on stabilizers, if you're going to spend money to open time capsules, just buy stabilizers. Let's take a quick look at how much replay badges are worth. Come on, come on. So basically, it's $1 for 25 replay badges. So imagine if you spend 87 replay badges to reset the mission only once. You've spent basically $3. And that's just for fragments. So for a whole stabilizers, you'll spend what, $9? No, maybe less, like $7. Instead of spending $7 on replay badges to get one stabilizer, just buy the stabilizer for the same amount of money. You have 7 stabilizers at least. The only way to add more, I'll show you. I probably should make an update at some point, but basically, in order to be able to have more, I'm almost done. Basically, in order to be able to have more places to teleport to, you need the appropriate mods. So you can see I have a Metropolis mod, which means I can teleport in a lot of places, pretty much anywhere I want in Metropolis. I have a Gotham City mod, which allows me to pretty much teleport anywhere I want into Gotham City. And there is a Metropolis Gotham City mod, like a mod where you have both Metropolis and Gotham City within the same mod. So if you want to, you could have just one mod that does both things. There's the base and legals, which allow me to teleport either to the bases of any of my characters or to any legals I have access to. And there's the urgent war fronts, which gives us access to New Genesis, War-Torn Village, and all that good stuff. So if I go to my teleporter, I swear I didn't drink anything today. So if you go to our teleporter, no, I didn't drink any alcohol, I swear. So if we go to our teleporter, you'll see that basically I have the same thing as everyone has, the Watchtower. Then I have my bases, and then I have the base and legal mod, which allows me to go to all the bases I have access to. Then there's the urgent war fronts, which give me access to pretty much all the maps from all the various DLCs. And there's the Metropolis mod, which allows me to teleport almost anywhere in Metropolis. And there's the Gotham City mod, which allows me to teleport almost anywhere in Gotham City. How can you get those mods? Very simply, you can get those mods either by playing content. A lot of those mods drop at random in the game, or you can find them in the broker. You can see there's a little mod section here. Sadly, if you go into mods, it'll give you every single mod in the game, whether it's mods for your gear, mods for your mainframe, mods for anything. Sadly, it's all all the mods that are. It's not just the mods for the locations. But still, go to mods, type, let's say, Metropolis if you want that mod. And then you can see like those mods sadly are a little pricey. They weren't that pricey at some point, but then at some point they became uber rare. I guess they started dropping less and less in the game. So as you can see, the Gotham and Metropolis one, you can get one for 500,000, but it goes up pretty quick. So I wouldn't be don't be surprised if you have to spend a lot of money for that one. If you go just for Metropolis, it's a little less pricey. And if you go to, oh yeah, that's it. The reason why I personally use Metropolis and Gotham separately is that already, I'll show it to you again because why not? We're here. Already, if you just go to the Metropolis area, holy crap, you have a lot of areas just with this one mod. So imagine if you have Metropolis and Gotham, you have twice this much area, this much places to teleport to. If you're familiar with the game, I guess it's not so much an issue. But if you're brand new with the game, you probably won't know which places are in Gotham, which places are in Metropolis, and it may be a bit confusing. So personally, I go for the Gotham mods and Metropolis mods separately because also you only have room for 4 mods, and the only mods you really need are the Urgent Warfront, the one for the base and the legal, and the one for Gotham and Metropolis. And once you have those three, you have everything you need. And so, and since you have like basically an extra slot, instead of having Gotham and Metropolis together, I usually prefer to have them separate. Like if we look for, let's say, the Urgent Warfront mod. Well, you can see it's about 2 millions. And let's look at the Gotham one. And let's go to mods. So again, we have got we have Gotham and Metropolis, but just Gotham, you can see it's 689,000. Obviously, if there's a few places that you really like let's say you really like Gotham University or you really like Gotham Wasteland, then yeah, you could have those as a mod if you want to. Or if you don't have any of the other mods, then yeah, you could use the Gotham Wasteland if you need it. Yeah, you were lucky if you were able to find it for 300,000. Also, those prices, the prices I'm showing you are prices on US PlayStation 4. So if you're playing on Xbox, if you're playing on European servers, quite possibly the prices would be different. Oh, I'm so sad. Hello, Zama. So for those of you who are wondering, that is where you can get mods for your teleporter. Of course, also mods actually drop in the game. There's another one. Oh yeah, let's look for the legal.
I'm just like ants at a picnic, ain't I?
And for those of you who were wondering about our friend Ambush Bug, the collections for Ambush Bug seems to be dropping. I'm not sure if they're still dropping. You can see for the base and legals, it's 1,800,000. Although if you just want the legals by themselves, you have to pay a lot less money. Like you can get it for 2,000. And let's look at bases. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can still have a few mods. No, I guess there's no mod just for the bases right now. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can still purchase mods for your teleporter, but obviously in order to be able to get the good ones, you're gonna have to spend a little bit more. Ah, the cute little Batmobile. So if you didn't know, there was a cute little Batmobile for our bases that was added to the game. And of course, you saw the tinfoil hat. You saw the evil unicorn trinket. So let's see, where else can we go? Oh, here's our little friend, Freedom Fighter. Let's give him a little bow. So let's see. Let's go to Earth 3. The reason I'm going to Earth 3 is I've already done the Deluge missions in the Central City open world. If I can give you 5 millions, let me show you. Or 10 millions? Oh, well, now you convince me. I have to give you 100 millions. I cannot give you what I don't have. I have basically I have a little less than 3 millions right now. So even assuming I had 10 millions, I wouldn't give it to you. What do you guys think when you ask for that? Come on. So let's curve to play some Deluge missions. I think I've already played. Oh, I didn't play the solo mission. So, okay, so today I guess we're going to start with that. We're going to start playing some of the on duty menu missions. So we'll start with the one-player mission. We'll start with the duo, the four-player mission, and so on until the eight-player missions. Although I think I've already played. No, I guess not. Oh yeah, okay, I've played one of them. So whatever mission I have access to on the on-duty menu, we're going to try to play those. I could play the very same missions in the event menu. If I was teamed up with someone who doesn't have the proper requirement, that's what I would do. But today I'm going to try to do it at the from the on-duty menu. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the infinite time capsule. There is the infinite time capsule that you can open a billion times if you want to. Let's take a quick look. If you guys have noticed, there's this little item that was added. Where is it? Too much stuff and oh, it's gone. I did a bit of house cleaning. I guess I sold it without meaning to. Oh, I'm so sad now. Anyway, there's this item that's the infinite time capsule. Oh, I think I just saw it. Oh yeah, there it is. I was scared for a second. I thought I had sold it or something. So there's this little item called the infinite time capsule that you can open to infinity and beyond. So as you can see, whenever you open it, it gives you a brand new time capsule. And you can do that forever. There's quite a few rumors on the forums. It's hard to know which is true or which is not. There are people saying that if you open the time capsule 100 times, you're going to get an aura. And there was even this foolish fool who said if you open it 1,000 times, you'll get one skill point. I have no idea who said that, but he has to be a really wise man. So basically, there's a whole bunch of rumors about what happens if you open the infinite time capsules. I know from experience that the first time you open it, you get some sort of feat and a title. But other than that, if there's something for opening the time capsules 1,000 times, I'm not aware of it just yet. And again, if someone was to tell you on the forums, if you open the time capsules 1,000 times, you'll get something, would you believe them?
Whoa, you got here quick.
So, and if you really want to know, I guess there's only one real way to find out. You have to open it yourself. Unless somebody you really trust and you know he's not going to be fooling around with you, maybe then you could believe him. But other than that, there's no way to know. If you really want to find out what happens if you open the infinite time capsules 100 times, 1,000 times, there's only one real answer to that. One real solution to that. You're gonna have to find out for yourself. I'm glad you need the Shimtar back. Yeah, we all need something. I need a whole bunch of auras. You need the Shimtar back. Everyone needs something. I'm glad you're here for the pie. Didn't realize we had pie though. We had pie and no one told me. I'm so sad.
Looks like Mara had reason to be paranoid. Can you deal with these hatcheries?
So you guys may remember I made a video about, it wasn't quite this mission. There is a version of this mission that you get early on from the Central City open world map. Basically, you have to talk to Mara, and then you can do, basically you can do the first part of this mission.
enough without starfish stuck to their faces.
Oh, we can get through. Oh, there we go. Not sure why I'm looking here. Just making sure there's nothing here. But there's always the possibility that maybe there's a collection hiding there. Just a force of habit. Usually in the tier 2 version of the Central City Police Station, sometimes there'll be a little chest hiding there.
I need to make sure the rogues are still tucked safe in their beds. Meet me in the detention wing.
Well, I know that some people think that they're joking around. Sadly, there's quite a lot of people who keep on asking for free stuff. So, no, it's not a joke. You may think it's funny, but it's not a joke. Nobody cares? Oh, I'm so sad now. Yeah, but you'd be surprised. There's always people asking for free stuff. So there's people in the game asking for free stuff. There's people on the forums asking for free stuff. And as you guys probably see from time to time in the comments, there's people in the comments asking for free stuff. It's sad, but that's how it goes. It probably is because it's a free-to-play game, so there's probably a lot of people who sadly are playing this game for free because they just cannot afford to buy anything. It's quite possible. But it still makes it annoying after a while that there's always people asking for free stuff.
It's done. Now ensure that the rest of these insufferable land dwellers tell no tales of who was responsible.
Oh, thank you, Craig. It's much appreciated. The YouTube issue, I'm not sure what issue you're referring to. There's quite a few, so it could mean anything. It could mean the YouTube audience. It could mean how YouTube flags a lot of videos that sometimes should not be flagged. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. I showed one where you have to basically click on the little clicky thing here twice. Also, what you can do, as you just saw, you can just decide to attack the starfish. You decide which version you prefer. Oh, and we have our friend Mirror Master helping us. He's so sweet. Oh, I was looking at a chat. See what happens when you don't look at what's going on. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat at the same time, so if I do foolish stuff, you know why. Although, sometimes I do foolish stuff even without the chat, but that's another issue. So let's go fight our friend, the evil controlled Flash. No, I understand what you meant, Heavenly. I was just trying to be funny and failing miserably. Which is, I guess, one thing we should take away from that is that sometimes people make jokes online and fail to realize that online all we can see is what's posted in the message. There's no tone, there's no expression to read, there's no voice to see if the person is joking or not. Unless they put 3 dozen emojis, we don't know they're joking. And sadly, more often than not, people say the very same stuff and they are not joking. So you'd be surprised how many people ask for free stuff, ask for money, ask for a lot of things, and they are not joking. So there's no way to know when someone is asking for 1 million, 5 million, 53,000 millions, if they're joking or if they're actually serious. And also, I do not see your bank account when you're saying that. So I have no idea if you have 5 millions or 50 millions in your bank account. I know that it was April Fool's yesterday, but yeah, April Fool's was yesterday. So, well, let's keep those April Fool's thingy yesterday. So this should be the last one, I think. So as you see, there's a feat if you defeat those Staros.
About time. You found my cold guns.
So there's probably various feats. There's probably a feat to defeat them the way I did. There's probably a feat to defeat them the other way. So there's probably quite a few options for you guys out there if you want to know how to defeat those little guys. I made a video about that previously because there are people who were wondering why there was an invincible version of the Flash in the game, and I didn't know what they were talking about until I actually played this mission.
Thanks for getting that thing off me. I'll get Mira and see if she can make sense of all
Well, it's not getting mad. It gets annoying after a while because it's not a one-time recurrence. Like someone who's making that joke may think that they're very funny and they're the first person in the world ever to say that. But it's something that I read in the forums daily, 5, 10, 20 times a day. The same thing in the game. There's a lot of games. Sometimes there's people who send me tell, specifically to ask me for a free aura, for some cash, so it's something that happens over and over and over. So by itself, it's not a big deal. Okay, you ask someone 5 millions. Nah, it's not a big issue. But the thing is that you're the 23rd person who's asking for that very same day. So that's what gets annoying. It's not so much the one time, the people who are asking one time. It's the repetition. It's the people who are asking over and over and over without knowing that.
Let me know if you need another lift. I could use another.
Okay, before I start, I'll try to catch up with some of the comments. So no, I understand, Heavenly God, that you were not aiming the nobody cares at me. Yeah, that's fine. I was just trying to make a joke out of it. Yeah, I could make I could try and make a little video with our friend Red Death with full speed, negative speed force. I assume that's what you mean. Full speed material. I suppose that's the negative speed force material. Yeah, I know there seems to be some issues with the notifications and the subscriptions. Sometimes people will click for notifications on the channel and they don't get the notifications. I'm not sure why that happens. There's a lot of conspiracy behind that, so I won't get into that too much because I don't really know what's true and what's conspiracy theory. And also the same with subscribers. Apparently sometimes subscribers disappear for no good reason. At first I thought again it was some sort of myth or people may be exaggerating, but then I saw it happen. One day I had like 50 subscribers disappear poof, in one go, and then I had people who asking me how come I'm not subscribed anymore or something like that. So it does happen once in a while. I'm not sure what happens. Once in a while it seems YouTube does some sort of I don't know, spring cleaning or something, and sometimes they'll remove subscribers for some reason. And also, I guess there's also plenty of haters on YouTube. Although I'm very fortunate, you guys are awesome. I have to admit, amongst my subscribers or what seems to be my viewers, I can't say I have that many haters. So I'm very grateful for that. You guys are awesome, and I love you guys for that. Oh yeah, and I forgot, there's this little feature they've added where you click on that, you're going to skip the cutscene. So be careful. Like the lever to open the door is this one here, but in some missions they've added this little thing here that allows you to skip all the cutscenes. So if you don't want to skip the cutscenes, don't click on that. Click on that little lever here. If I play other DC games, I tried the Telltale game Batman. or the Batman Telltale game. I played only the first chapter, I think, so far. So I'm gonna have to play more of it. I did play Injustice when it was first released, and I did try the free trial for the Injustice 2. Those games are fine. I'm not much of a fighter game player. Basically, I played Injustice just enough to be able to see the whole storyline. I played a bit of multiplayer, and that pretty much was the end of it.
You are a Zebel conspirator, and I will take pleasure in
Yeah, thank you, Evanly God.
suffer the ruin you have
Well, that's one of the things. I've seen a lot of people complain about people who stream games, and especially who stream like DCUO, and they always wonder why. And especially also, you'll notice sometimes my stream will be 2 hour, 3 hour long. And there's this weird myth on YouTube that people only want to have short videos. Nobody wants to watch a 3 hour video. And sometimes I have to explain to them that no, there are people who actually want longer videos. And there are people who sometimes they'll watch a game because they cannot play it right now. Either, like yourself, maybe you decided not to play it anymore. That's fine. You have to play the games you like. And if you don't like a game, don't play it. That's more than fine. But there are people who basically cannot play DCUO for whatever reasons. I'm sure there's quite a few players who used to play on PS3 who can no longer play DC Universe Online. What they can do is play by watching someone else play, if it makes any sense. Like, I know this guy who, at the time it was when we still had PS3, but he could not afford to play DC Universe Online at the time. I think his PS3 was broken and he could not purchase a new one or something like that. So basically, there's people who would like to play this universe online, who just cannot play this universe online, or maybe they no longer want to play this universe online and just want to keep up with the new changes. That happens. But basically, they can do that watching a stream. So we often see people wondering, why do people watch other people play games? Well, sometimes that's why. Sometimes you cannot play the game. For reasons. You could be at work, working, and you decide to watch some gameplay while you work. And there's some places where you can actually do that. I know it seems weird because people think that if you're at work, well, you're there to work. Yeah, you are, but there are some types of work where you can do your work and have the computer in the background allowing you to watch movies or allowing you to watch YouTube videos. Yeah, I understand, Craig. It must be horrible once you get used to playing with your PS4, and once you get used to playing a game that you really enjoy. It must be sad to have to not play it anymore. Ah, bad timing. He's so sad. Oh, not sure why I wasn't seeing that. Sadly, as time goes by, there seems to be, sadly, a bit more rendering issues. I remember when people thought that when the PlayStation 3 would no longer be supported, it would solve all the issues with DC Universe Online. Sadly, as time goes by, the loading time on PS4 takes more and more time, sadly. It's not dramatic, but it can be a bit annoying sometimes. Hello, Caris. Welcome to see you back. Thank you, Joseph.
His insults will not be forgotten when he stands trial for this treachery. I wonder what dark.
Well, Craig, you could play DCO on PC, I suppose. Sadly, you wouldn't have access to your PlayStation characters, though.
I will bring this news to
Decisions. Oh, let's go for the belt.
Ocean Master's deception. On behalf of Atlantis, please grace us with your presence at Spindrift Station as our guest of honor.
Not sure why they added those actual chests, although it kind of fit with the theme of the DLC. Oh, I already have the pants. I'm so sad. But luckily, I have a billion characters. Oh, holy crap! I never expected that to happen ever in the world of ever. I guess you guys know what will be my next video. So as you can see, we got a brand new Ring of Omnipotence. It's a bit sad because we're going to lose a bit of vitalization, and I guess I'm going to need a red mod for that. Yeah. And I suspect it's going to... Oh, I didn't raise my combat rating yet. So you guys saw it live for the first time ever. I got a Starro Ring of Omnipotence. It's item level 188. 200 and, well... Lots of defense. Oh, yeah. One of the... not... Just give me a second, Joey. So it'll give us a boost in defense, but we will lose a bit of power, a bit of vitalization, and a bit of dominance. Which is sadly the trade-off with those rings. And the item is item level 188. I'm a bit surprised by that. I would expect it to be like 212 or something like that. Unless there's various scaling rings, if it makes sense. Well, which one is fun to play depends. It depends on you. Personally, I really enjoy playing Quantum. Although, if I had to choose, to choose a new power, I would probably go with Fire. The reason for that is that sadly, there's some missions that you need a whole group to play. And sometimes finding a group not really an option. But if you play with, let's say, a Fire character, you can do some groups, some group missions solo. Pretty much fine on your own. I guess the same would apply to Atomic and probably Ice as well. I guess the same would apply to most of the tank powers, but I've done it with Fire a few times where I was able to defeat what was basically a group mission solo with my Fire tank. The reason for that is that the Fire tank can heal himself, so it gave me all the survivability I needed. Like I could probably do the same with Ice tank with shields, with some strong shields. Although there are some enemies that eat through my tank shields anyway. Oh, I already have all the enhanced styles. I crafted them last year, or actually last summer. There was a point last summer, I think, when I went into a crafting overdrive. So I crafted pretty much all the enhanced style that I hadn't crafted at the time. But let's see if I can give it to one. Oh yeah, I have other characters that will be very happy to have that.
Want to see a neat trick? I can talk without moving my lips.
So I guess we're not going to use our Ring of Omnipotence just yet. Well, let's see our little belt here. 199. I have no idea what I have. 193. Okay, it should be an upgrade. So for the power, I would probably go with a Fire tank. But again, probably any tank would probably do the trick. The ice tank, if you like playing with shields, it's a great power for that. You have plenty of shields to give you plenty of survivability. The one thing I don't like about the ice power is that there's a few abilities that will give you those humongous spikes, ice spike on your character. Not too crazy when that happens. Oh yeah, and also I got the Kryptonian chunk. I'll show it to you guys in just a second. For those of you who may not know what that is. I made a video about that in the past, but I have a lot of videos, so I wouldn't understand if people didn't see that video just yet. So I got this little Kryptonian chunk that allows me to turn into a real Kryptonian. Basically what it does is that it gives you freeze breath, gives you heat vision, and it gives you some sort of ground strike that does a bit of damage all around your character. So if you ever get the Kryptonite chunk, that's what it does. You stay like that for a bit. The sad thing is that I already have like freeze breath and heat vision on my character. It's something you can get using the... oh, the cat is mean to me. Oh, I already have a freeze breath and heat vision. I guess all I'm really missing is the ground pound. And although I do have it with my Supergirl character, there's an ice power that allows you to punch the ground. Oh yeah, and I started buying the Mura set of gear, so I got the chest, my first piece. So slowly but surely, I'll be able to get the whole set eventually. How did I get that? You mean the trinket or the ring? The trinket drops from the vault. It's a rare drop from the vault. It seems to drop about once every, I don't know, 2 years. I wouldn't be able to tell you for sure, but I only have the Kryptonian the Kryptonian chunk on 3 or 4 characters, I forget. But I don't have it on many characters. It's something that is uber rare. I've ran the vault thousands of times, and I only saw this chunk like maybe 3 or 4 times. And the same with the other one, the OMAC one. There's one that turns you into an OMAC. I only saw that again maybe 3-4 times in DC Universe Online in the past 6.5 years, and I ran the vault hundreds, I would even say thousands of times. I can't really help you 100 subs because I can barely do it with this character. I would have to log in with, let's say, a fire tank, and then maybe I could help you. Maybe next time I'll try to log in a little later this week, maybe tomorrow, with my Superman character. So yeah, with my Superman character, which is a fire-powered character, yeah, I could probably help you with the generator mission. With this character, I barely was able to do it, so I don't think I would really be able to help you unless you have a full group. And then if you have a full group, it doesn't really matter if I help you or not. Yeah, I've seen the Krypton TV series. Hello, Stone Nation. Well, let's go for our next mission. I've seen the Krypton TV series. It's by itself, it's fine. It's a bit. I remember seeing those making of videos where they were talking about the Krypton series, what they were making of, and they were trying to make something that was truly alien and truly different, and it's the same emo young teen kind of shows that we see all the time on shows like the CW and stuff like that. I have no idea if on the Sci-Fi Channel if it's something new for them. I don't really watch the Sci-Fi Channel. I haven't watched it for a long time. But it seems to be it seems to be very contemporary. It doesn't seem the whole alien part. If they truly were trying to make something that was alien, that was different, that it was they failed. They failed epically because that's not at all what they did. They did something that was very similar to a lot of teen drama stuff that we see all the time on TV. If it was their goal or their point, yeah, they succeeded. But if they were truly were trying to make something alien, nah, that was not it. And for the intrigue, it's kind of hard because we obviously maybe there is some intrigue for people who have no knowledge of Superman or people who don't know who Brainiac 5 is. Maybe those people are very intrigued. Maybe those people are wondering what the twist will be, where the plot is going, and all that. Sadly, I would dare to say we already saw that storyline before. So I'm not sure what they're going to do to make. The only thing so far they seems to be doing to make it different, it's like it's 200 years in the past. But other than that, we've already seen storylines with Brainiac, where Brainiac was the World Eater or something like that, or the World Destroyer. And so I'm wondering what they're going to do different this one time. But also there's a lot of what I call useless drama. There's a lot of drama that could be easily avoided if they just told themselves one line of dialogue. But it's something that's typical with a lot of TV shows. Like there's the TV show Homeland right now, and there's the main character is called Carrie Matheson, and she goes way over her head in a whole bunch of pointless drama with her sister. And all she really needed to do was say one thing to maybe not calm the drama entirely, but at least explain why she was acting the way she was. And somehow she wasn't doing it. There's one clear line of dialogue that would at least explain the whole situation, and she's not doing it. She's not saying it because they want to create tension, they want to create drama. But sadly, when it's well done, then yeah, it creates some good drama. Sadly, way too often it's forced, what I call forced drama. It's drama that shouldn't be there if people were acting just a tiny bit rational. And Krypton has a lot of that. There's a lot of misunderstanding that a single line of dialogue would explain. But that's how it works a lot with those teen dramas. They create a lot of drama that shouldn't be required, that shouldn't be even happening. But it is happening. And this year we've seen that also a lot with Arrow. We've seen that a lot with Flash. So it's nothing new, but it doesn't make it good, or it doesn't make it acceptable just because it's a new show. Or they're just making the same mistakes that I think a lot of shows are making. But overall, the set designs are fine enough. The characters are fine enough. You can see there's a lot of girl power and all that good stuff. So you can see it's a pretty modern TV show. And they're trying very hard to be modern with by tackling modern themes and I guess with a modern agenda, if it makes any sense. But usually I will probably make a video to talk about the Krypton TV show. But I was waiting for the third episode. Usually I'll try to give a show at least 3 episodes before I start judging it, before I start making my mind. Yeah, I did watch Mad Max Fury Road. A full group of fire tank? Oh, probably, yes. The only time I was able to defeat Starro just yet was when there was like a whole bunch of us. There was at least like 12 of us. And I wasn't in a group. I was just by myself, just trying to give him some sort of backup, I suppose. But yeah, I guarantee you, if you go against the evil Starro with like 8 fire tanks, Starro is toast. There's no chances of anything else. The thing with fire tank is that they should have extra. They have a lot of survivability. The tank normally are supposed to be to be tough, to have a little more defense than the other roles. And also the fire tank has the ability to heal itself. And he actually has a lot of healing. Like you can have a full loadout of healing abilities with the fire tank if you want to. No, 228 was for the Earth 3 DLC. Here it's probably more than that. I have no idea what it is just yet because truth is I'm not even close to being there. Oh, the penguin rug, almost tempting. Decisions. I'll get the rug some other way. Tempted with the astral weapon. Oh, I opened the box already. I'm so sad. So let's see what's in the box. I got a spindrift belt already. Your third level 30. I'm not too big on power leveling people's characters. I don't even do it for my own characters. So I'm not a big power leveler. I have a video or two in the pipeline that where we'll try to explain to people how they can level up a bit faster. So I would say take a look at that when I manage to get around to making it. But I'm not really big on power leveling other players. I'm not really big on power leveling, period, whether it's for me or for other people. There's a few reasons for that. Let's say you create a new fire character. It could be that you already have experience with DC Universe Online. But if you create a new fire character and you don't really know how firepower works, it would be a good idea to discover that, to learn that as you go from level 1 to level 30. If you have a level combat rating 250 character that's killing everything in your path, and that doesn't really allow you to learn how to use your power, I don't think it would be a good idea. I strongly suggest level up your character from level 1 to level 30. It's roughly 12 hours of game time. It isn't that long, so a long weekend you will be able to do that in just that one weekend. So let's try the 4-player mission. Oh wait. Oh, I'm so sad. Atomic is a nice power. The thing with Atomic is that you pretty much depend on the combos a bit. So it depends if you like powers with a combo with that uses combos. Then yeah, go with Atomic. If you don't want to use powers that have combos, then go with something like Fire. I'm on the US server. I wouldn't pay anyone to level up your character. As I mentioned, getting your character from level 1 to level 30, it's not that difficult. It doesn't take that long. And it allows you to not just learn, but kind of master how to use your power. And usually, unless you create a character that uses a power you are already familiar with, it would be a good idea to actually play that power from level 1 to level 30 to figure out the power, to figure out which abilities are more useful than others, which abilities are more powerful than others. Oh, we now have a fellow devil. And again, I don't even do it for myself. Like I don't even try to power level my characters. Oh, that was quick. It is French actually, not Portuguese, but French. So yeah, you're correct. But I'm French from North America. Well, if you came back, Nitpoon, if you came back, yeah, you probably would have a. I wouldn't see it like you have a lot of work. You have a lot of things to do. There's a lot of new things that were added to this. If you didn't play this universe online for quite some time, there's a lot of new content for you then. So you would come to. It will almost be like a brand new game for you because there would be so many new missions that you've never played before. So I almost envy you. You should be able to come back and really enjoy the new stuff that was added to the game. Sorry if I'm answering some of those comments a bit late. I'm trying to focus on what's going on a bit. So sadly, as you can see, we have to play without a healer because the evil Afterlife decided to play as a DPS. Sadly, it's something that happens in this universe online all the time. People curve for both healer and DPS, but they only really want to play DPS. It shouldn't be a problem, but I've only played this mission once before, so I'm not sure. I don't recall if we had a healer before or not, so I'm not sure if it'll be that different this time. So as you saw, our friend Blue Devil went a little bit around the room and gathered all the mobs he could find. Not sure I would have done that since we don't have a healer, but hopefully he knows what he's doing. I started playing the game when it became free-to-play in October 2011 or something like that. I played as a free-to-play player for about 3 days, maybe a week. The very first thing I did was purchase the future Batman Legend character in order to become a premium player. I bought the first Green Lantern DLC. And then when the time came to buy the Flash DLC that came afterwards, I toyed with the idea of just buying the DLC and keep on playing as a premium player. But then I decided, what the heck, I'll play as a legendary player. I'll try legendary and see how it is. And I've been legendary ever since. So I've been playing for a bit. Hi, Mike. Sorry, I probably missed quite a few comments. I'll try to get back to go back a bit to some of the earlier comments that you guys may have made. If you have any, if you have any questions and I didn't answer them, just wait a bit. I'll try to look through the comments, or you could ask it again if you really want me to answer it and you want to make sure that I don't miss it. Oh no! Would be tempted to activate the console. Not sure what it does. So let's see if we can do it without the console. For the negative Speed Force material, there's no miracle. You have to buy it from the broker. Yes, you could try to open a whole bunch of time capsules. I think these were for with the Guardian time capsules, if I remember correctly. So you could try to open a whole bunch of Guardian time capsules and hope to get lucky enough to get the Void collection that gives you the Void material. But your best bet is just bite the bullet and buy it straight from the broker. Ah, crap. Well, let's give a little bow to our friends. It went smoothly enough. Even though we didn't have a healer, but Blue Devil overall did a good job. And let's see what's in the box. So I'll look what's in the box, I'll go back to my base, and then I'll try to answer some of the questions that I missed. We'll get a bonus Atlantean Crown, Mark of Victory, and the loot box. Hydrothermal vent. Well, let's try and find out what this little fella looks like. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I had the same problem with the Nitpoon. I had the same problem with the whenever DC would make a big major change to the game, all my league would disappear. It's sad, but that's how it happened. I had to rebuild my league twice so far. Like the first time we built our league was just a bunch of friends, and everything was fine until there was a pretty big update. I think it was around the time of Origin Crisis. Oh yeah, and when they changed the oh, that's a I know which character I'm going to give this to. So they made a whole bunch of big changes for the new PvP season and all that, and a lot of my friends weren't really happy with that. And also Origin Crisis also they weren't very happy with Origin Crisis. So it was pretty much a perfect storm of let's get rid of 90% of our player base, and that's pretty much what happened at that time. So I lost my pretty much all my league. Actually, I lost all my league at that point, and all my friend list also. I know sometimes people will say, "Oh, you should have chosen better people for your league or something." We didn't choose anyone for our league. It was just us, a bunch of friends. We decided to create a league, and sadly, all the new DLC and all the changes to PvP all at once. Uh, Pretty much no one liked it, and they all left. And the same with my friend list. All the people on my friend list disappeared overnight during Origin Crisis and during the first season of PvP, the first official season of PvP. And then I rebuilt the league a bit later with another group of friends and a few other people. And then again, we got game update 47, I forget, and with the big game update, which changed a lot of things in DCUO again. And again, pretty much everyone was gone. There's one of my friends who once in a while he'll log into DC Universe Online after a long absence. He'll play a whole bunch of new stuff that he never saw before, and then he'll be gone again for a few months until he decide to give the game a try again. But yeah, I understand all too well. It happens. It's a bit frustrating. Whenever there's a big change to the game, it can be a bit frustrating because you basically you learn how to play the game a certain way, you master the game a certain way, and also you get all the mods you need to play the game a certain way, and then everything changes, and you have to relearn how to play your powers. And if you're like me, and if you have a lot of characters like me, you have to relearn. You have to relearn all the powers. So it's a bit whenever they do a big change to the game, it can be a bit much. And also uh, for the mods, like at some point with a lot of characters, I was using precision mods, and then we had all the changes that we had in the latest big update, and so everything that I had that was precision, I had to switch to might. So there's a lot of mods that had to become might mods as opposed to precision mods. All the like the Green Lantern characters I had, or all the powers that I had that used the combos that were using precision, I had to switch all those to might. And it's been months and months, and I don't think I've done that for all the characters just yet. I probably still have a handful of characters that are still using precision mods, even though they should be using might mods. So I understand that whenever there's a big change, it does turn off a lot of people, and I can understand because it was a bit of a turn off for me too. I understand that some people see that as trying to improve the game or something like that. The sad part is that I don't think it was that much of an improvement. I think it was more of an attempt to nerf the players, and it ended up turning off a lot of players. Oh, thank you, Craig. Jack, I did not collect all the parts for the Spindrift gear. You can see it right here. I have the shoulders, I have the hand, I have the belt, I have the boots, and I have the pants. Still missing the chest, the head, and the back. So as soon as I get all of those, obviously I'm going to make a video about that to show it to you guys. But no, I don't have all the Spindrift style just yet. But sooner or later I'll get it. And with the Mera suit, I only have the chest piece so far. I could have had more than the chest piece, but I decided to buy the weapon early on. So that's on me. That's no one's fault but mine. Come on. So basically, I purchased the chest piece for Mera. But I also purchased the weapon. Like the very first thing I purchased was a weapon. Usually it's pretty much the last thing I purchase, but this time I made an exception. I went with for the weapon first, and then I got the Mera chest piece. The Batmobile item is cool. Well, to do a vehicle race, they would have to add vehicles to begin with. Uh, Sadly, I don't think they'll ever do that. The maps in this universe online are not that big, and already our characters can fly, our characters have super speed and all that good stuff. So already to begin with, we can already move around at a pretty good speed. So we don't really need vehicles. It would be fun though, don't get me wrong. I'd be the first one who would be very, very happy to have a Batmobile and to be able to enter my Batmobile and drive around Gotham City or Metropolis with my little Batmobile. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to do that with either the Batmobile or the Batwing or anything you like. But I don't think it's really feasible or really a good idea within the context of DC Universe Online. Well, I don't think that it doesn't care about its player base. I think it has too many player bases to cater to. Sadly, this Universe Online tried to attract the people who were MMO players, and they also tried to attract people who were Call of Duty players. And sadly, those players do not really mix. We see that every day in DCUO. You have the Call of Duty players who want to be quick, and 100% efficient, and want to to be top DPS, and want to out DPS everyone else. And you have the MMO players who try to be more teamwork oriented, if it makes any sense. So we have the Call of Duty player who are pretty much single player oriented, or for whom everything is about them, and we have the MMO players, or the what I would call the D&D players, who are more used to playing into a group, of cooperating together as a group, and so we have pretty much the players who want to play with cooperation, who want to cooperate together to complete the mission, and we have the players who are the competitive players. They want to compete against each other to know who's going to do the most damage, who's going to do the most healing, who's going to do the most whatever. And so, and also, and even within those two categories, we have the new player who's very, very new and doesn't know anything about the game. And we have the super hardcore player who knows everything, who knows all the powers, who knows all the strategies, and all that good stuff. And sadly, they have to try to cater to all those people. At the end of the day, it's guaranteed that they are going to disappoint people. The thing that drives me a bit crazy is that sometimes they seem to be focusing on like 2% of the player base. They seem to satisfy like 2% of the player base instead of trying to satisfy like the 80-90% of the player base that play their game. That's the one thing that I truly don't get. But at the end of the day, obviously they're going to displease people. Either they're going to displease the people who are uber elite players, who want everything to be challenging, or they're going to disappoint the casual players who just want to play the game and have a good time. So there's no miracle solution. Basically, they have to choose a camp, and they have to cater to those people, and they seem to struggle really, really quite a lot with that. Also, I strongly believe that they don't seem to understand their player base, so that probably contributes to that even more. Like if you look at the forums, you would swear that the players are one type of players, but then when you go into the game and you actually play the game with a lot of random stranger players, you realize that the players in the game and the players on the forums, not the same kind of players at all. So I can understand some of their confusion sometimes, but I would say that they are trying to cater to the players. They just don't know which players to cater to. Oh, thank you, Fritz. I'll try to explain things if I can. Yes, I'm on PS3. I'm on US PS3. PS4, sorry. PS3 is no longer supported by the game, sadly.
Is anyone out there?
Yeah, well, there's a few points in time where a lot of league disappeared. Again, the best example I can think of is Origin Crisis. When we had Origin Crisis, for each people who said they loved the game, there's at least 10 leagues that disappeared. Not 10 players, 10 leagues. It was that crazy. So a lot of people, a lot of leagues disappeared overnight with Origin Crisis. They are trying to update the graphics a bit. Uh, I know the Mirror's cape is a little tiny, and it seems to be also not quite connected to the character. But once I get the cape, I'll take a closer look at that. But yeah, Niptune, I have no idea. Nitpoon, I'll get it someday. At some point, leagues disappeared quite quickly. It was a bit worrisome at the time. Although I have to admit, I was really unhappy with this Universe Online at the time. So if right there and then they had that said, okay, we have to shut down this Universe Online because everyone quit because of Origin Crisis, I don't think I would have been that sad at that point. I was really unhappy with this Universe Online at the time. I was unhappy with the way PvP was going, and I was really unhappy with the Origin Crisis.
You don't know who you're messing with, do you?
But for updating the graphics, don't expect a big graphic update. What they seem to be doing is that they're updating stuff slowly but surely. The best example, although the worst example also, would be the new Superman model. So they will probably update the graphics, but slowly as time goes by. Like we can see there's quite an update in the quality of the new styles that we're getting. The new mirror style is a perfect example of that. If you look at the new mirror style, there's some really nice textures going on there. There's some really nice things. But it's not just with the mirror style. If we go to the red depth style, the speed metal style, again the quality, the level of quality of the style did go up. I would say it went up dramatically with once they started adding the Batman Beyond style, but it may even have been a bit before that. But you could tell that there was quite an upgrade in quality with the Batman Beyond style, and pretty much all the styles that followed. But I don't think there's going to be a big graphic update. What I expect is that they'll upgrade styles from time to time, they'll upgrade certain NPCs from time to time, and whenever they're going to add the new maps, those will be upgraded, sort of, quote of. Maybe with time they'll go back and they'll upgrade some of the maps, but don't expect one big update. Odds are it will happen like one NPC at a time and one map at a time. So from time to time they'll upgrade a few things, then a few months later they'll upgrade a few more things. And in the long run, they'll probably that's probably how we're going to get a graphic update in this Universe Online. And of course, by the time they're done with that graphic update, the graphics will once more be outdated, and they'll have to update them again. That's the one thing that people have to understand about trying to update the graphics, is that time goes by, time moves forward, and even if they they start upgrading the graphics today, they're only going to be able to upgrade the whole thing in like maybe 6 months. And in 6 months, the graphic that looks really awesome today will look dated already. So if you try to worry about the graphics and you try to update the graphics, it becomes an ongoing process. You have to upgrade your graphics every time, all the time, and it's just not doable. Let's assume they make free powers. Okay, maybe a lot of players would come back, but they would come back to play the game for free. How does that help the game? Like, it's nice if this universe has a lot of players, but this universe also needs a lot of paying players. Like, I see a lot of people complain about the time capsules, Well, the reason why we need something like time capsules to keep the game going is because there are a lot of players who play this universe online who do not spend a single cent on the game. How do you think the game keeps on going? It needs to make at least some amount of money. So each one of us who actually pays to play the game, we have to pay for, let's say, 24 other players who play the game completely for free. So yeah, it would be nice if they gave free stuff, but if they do that, all they will do is that they will attract players who want everything for free, and we're going to end up in the same situation. A lot of players will play for free, and the few of us who actually pay will have to pay more for those players who don't pay anything. And then they'll add stuff like time capsules that people will complain about, but that's how they can make their money. Like if people play everything for free, well, they have to find ways to bring some money in. I could try to do an Earth Tank loadout. The thing is, I haven't played Earth Tank all that much, so I wouldn't really know what to... I would have to experiment a bit more with the Earth Tank before I can even suggest some sort of loadout. Obviously, the ground pound is the must-have. Every Earth player uses ground pound because of how powerful it is. It's not hard to understand. Usually, when there's something as powerful as ground pound seems to be, everyone starts using it. And when you have like 90% of the player base or the Earth player base who uses the same power, you can pretty much guess that the power might be a little too powerful. But yeah, I'll see what I can do about doing an Earth loadout. I have my Sandwalker character that I could use for that. I will have to play a bit more with my Sandwalker character in order to be able to do that and have any kind of, let's say, credibility. I'm so sad, JD. I wish you could send me 2 Kryptonian auras. Technically, I only need 1 more. I have the Kryptonian aura for this little fella here. And I would like to have a Kryptonian aura for my evil Ultraman character. And that's pretty much it. I guess I could get 1 for my Superboy Prime character. I'll have to give it some thoughts. They cannot do... if they change to Unreal 4, they have to redo a whole new game. So they wouldn't upgrade the game. They would create basically this Universe Online 2. The thing we have to wonder is that do they make enough cash with this Universe Online to make it worth their while to create this Universe Online 2 on Unreal 4? I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. Obviously, I don't have the numbers. Hopefully, if they ever make this Universe Online 2, they'll avoid some of the mistakes that they made with this Universe Online 1. But sadly, I kind of doubt it. The reason why I say that, we see that all the time. When we got Dragon Age, you would have thought that once we get Dragon Age 2 would have been Dragon Age, but just version improved. It wasn't that at all. It pretty much was a whole new game. And it wasn't half as good as the original Dragon Age. So you may think that if they were to make this Universe Online 2, it would be much better than this Universe Online 1. It doesn't always work like that. Actually, as a rule of thumb, it never works like that. Yes, once in a while, the second version of the game is much better than the first version. But there are other times where it's not. It's just a different game. I guess you could ask to the people who are playing EverQuest 2. Is EverQuest 2 really better than EverQuest 1? Obviously, the people who switched from EverQuest 1 to EverQuest 2 probably think so. The people who decided to keep on playing EverQuest 1 probably don't agree with that EverQuest 2 is a better game. And sadly, there's too many examples for that. The one example I can think of where the second game was actually better than the first is with Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 2 was overall better than Baldur's Gate 1, although it did lose a bit of the exploration that Baldur's Gate 1 had. By myself, not with this character. I probably could do it with my fire character, like my fire tank. But with this character, I'd be lucky if I last just a few seconds. Basically, the Crime Syndicate characters hit way too hard. My character doesn't have the survivability to be able to survive through that. So I could probably hold my own for a bit using my shield. And maybe if I equip one or two other shields, I could maybe cycle through my shields to try to survive a bit. But I guarantee you that before long, I wouldn't be able to last through the whole fight. Oh my, you said it. Which materials I have collected so far? Well, let's take a look. Come on, come on. So I have the silver material. Oh yeah. I have the gold material. Love that one. I'm using it on way too many characters, and I'm trying to find other characters to use it with. I have the negative speed force material. A pretty cool looking material. It's one of the few materials, I guess, where you can see the inside of the cape slightly different from the outside. The void material does the same thing. And I think the cosmic material too, come to think of it. So yeah, these are the materials I have. No, that doesn't sound right. Ah, there we go. So I have the time worn material. This is pretty much the Phoenix material, but in shades of blue. Although the Phoenix material looks much better, I think. The stealth material, pretty awesome if you ask me. But a lot of people don't seem to like that one. Maybe it's because they think it's a bit overpriced, which it's hard to agree to argue with that. And there's the iridescent material, which is the new one we were given very recently. Oh, and of course the bronze material. So yeah, so these are pretty much all the materials I have right now. For the emblem, that's the Ultraman emblem. Right now, the only place where you really can get it is from the broker. Yes, you could probably get it from the mega capsules. If you're lucky enough, you could get some I forget the actual name. You could get, if you're lucky, you could get some Notorious Time capsules from the mega capsule, and then you could get this emblem from the Notorious Time capsule. But I kind of doubt it. I would strongly suggest just buy it from the broker. It's your better option. And the cape, that's the Ultraman cape. Again, you have to buy it from the broker. It is expensive. The cape is really expensive. Although it wasn't so expensive recently. Recently I saw it as cheap as like 25 million or something. But that didn't last too long. Yeah, at 25 millions, people buy it right away, or almost.
Hello? Anyone?
And personally, I bought it for 100 million. And I saw it go as high as 130 million. So anywhere between 25 million and 133 million, I suppose. So if you see it at 25 million and you have the cash for it, buy it right away. Don't even wait. Don't even ask yourself, should I buy it? You see it at 25 million, you buy it. But yeah, for the Ultraman emblem and the back piece, yeah, get it from the broker. Well, if you have only 500,000, you have a lot of farming ahead of you. Start farming for cash, gather your cash, and someday, let's go take a quick look. Hello, Grady. What happened to the infinite time capsule? It's there. It's right here. There it is. So it's right there. You can open it and as many times as you like. And it always gives you an infinite time capsule forever. And there's even different colors. So knock yourself out and open as many time capsules as you want. And let's take a quick look at the Ultraman cape. Let's see how much it is right now. Sadly, no cape. So all the capes that were for sale are gone already. As I mentioned, there were a lot of them for sale at some point for like 25, 30 millions. I know that it seems like a lot of money, but it's easily doable. If you don't end up wasting your money on a whole bunch of stuff like I do, you can gather 25 million easy enough. But for the infinite time capsule, was it dropping only yesterday? Could be. I'm not sure exactly how it works for the April Fool stuff. Is it something that happens only on April 1st? Is it something that lasts for about a week? I do not know. Also, there's someone who mentioned that we can actually give the time capsules to our other characters. You know what? I didn't even try that. Oh yeah, it is account bound. So technically I should be able to give it to my other characters. And they too could enjoy the infinite time capsule-ness. The emblem... I should have checked that. We'll go back in a bit. Oh, in 2 minutes I'll tell you for the emblem. Well, you could play the Deluge missions. You should be able to play the Deluge missions even if you are a free-to-play player. If you go into the On Duty tab, you'll see the Events tab. In the Events tab, you pretty much have all the new Deluge missions, and also you should have access to the Central City Deluge, the Deluge version, the Deluge Central City version of the map. So if you're no longer a subscriber, just go to the Deluge map, play the missions that are there, go to the Event tab. Play the missions that are there. So you can at least do that if you want. Oh, for the Paradox time capsules, those are gone. They were replaced by the Mega capsules. Once we started having the Mega capsules, the Paradox time capsules were gone. You can still buy them from the broker though. So if you really want to have some Paradox time capsules, just go to the broker. There should be plenty of them for sale there. I didn't look in for the Paradox time capsules. I have like quite a few.
It'll hurt me if I don't get this where it needs to go.
Let's see if we can warp. Evil combat. It took a while. 2, 1, okay, blast off. No, you can have access to Deluge at level 10. As soon as you have a character that's level 10, you have access to Deluge. Okay, let's see. The Ultraman emblem. You can get the plan for the enhanced version for 2 millions. But the emblem itself, not very expensive, 200,000. So for 200,000, you can get a brand new Ultraman emblem. But if you want to have the enhanced version, then you're going to have to craft it. That's going to be a bit more expensive. What else did you guys ask for? The Flash biography. Actually, it's not there. It doesn't seem to be available for sale right now on the broker. When you're looking for something specific like the Flash biography, there's no miracle. You have to go to the broker any chance you get. You go back to your base to repair, go to the broker. You go back to your base to buy colas, go to the broker. You go back to your base to whatever, go to the broker. And let's see for the infinite time capsules. Oh yeah, we can. So we can trade our infinite time capsules between characters if we want to. The only reason to do that really is to be able to have defeat on all our characters. And for the paradox time capsules, well, let's take a quick look. So for it's $500 per capsules. So you can get quite a lot of them for pretty cheap if you really want to. 250,000 for 100. A little too pricey. You get 154 for 200,000. And of course, you have to have like about 1.5 million for 900 and 999. So being able to buy, even if you're a free-to-play player, you can easily buy Paradox Time capsules.
It'd clearly go better over here.
The best way to raise money, you have to farm for valuable items. In some cases, you have to, let's say the flash boots, there's this mission, let's go play it. There's this mission here called, oh no, you have to be an evil villain. Oh, I'm so sad now. I know what else. Let's go to Gotham City, because we can. What would be closest? Now let's go there. Yeah, you need stabilizers for the Paradox Time capsules. The game is pretty good. You can play quite a lot of content for free. If you don't want to spend any money on DC Universe Online, that you don't have to. But if you don't spend money on DC Universe Online, don't complain if you... Oh, I went to the wrong place. Don't complain if you don't have access to everything. Obviously, if you play for free, you have a limited access to quite a lot of content, though. You can play pretty much any PvP for free. Like you could play PvP and PvP and PvP for eternity without spending a single red cent if you want to. And for PvE, there's quite a lot of content that you can play in PvE entirely for free if you want to. Basically, you can play most mission up to tier 4 for free. Like pretty much up to here, you can pretty much play most of these for free. There's a few that will require DLCs, but it's only a few. The same here. The same here. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, you can pretty much play all of those for free. Tier 4, there is some free content, some not free content. Although, even with Tier 2, there is some content that is not free. But as a rule of thumb, you pretty much have access to almost everything, well, to a lot of things for free. But obviously, not everything will be for free. And I forget, where's the Temple of Crime? It's been a while since... Oh, here we are. So in order to make money, there's two things you can do. The first thing is you can farm for valuable items. The second thing is what I would actually suggest, is to actually farm for collections. I'll show you the collections in just a bit. Well, you can play PvE. Like right now, you can play the Deluge PvE content for free if you want to. The thing is, people expect everything to be 100,000% for free. No, it's not. You have to pay for at least some of the content. Like I'll see people who don't spend a single cent, and then they'll be unhappy that not everything is available for free. What do you expect? When was the last time you could have something 100% for free? When the last time you went to get a car and could leave with the car without giving a single cent for it? Can you go to the grocery store and leave with groceries for free? Doesn't work like that. I'm glad for you, Grady. The flash boots, usually the flash boots are around 2 millions. Sometimes they'll be a bit more expensive, sometimes they'll be less expensive. It depends, but as a rule of thumb, usually the flash boots are about 2 millions on the broker. So you could farm and farm and farm for the flash boots, and if you get the flash boots, you sell them on the broker. Obviously, you're gonna have to do a lot of farming in order to be able to do that. Or you're gonna have to be a bit lucky. Either way. I know there was this guy who was telling me that he was farming for the flash boots all day, and he was able to get 4, 5, 6 pairs of flash boots after one day of farming. So that's one way to go at that. Personally, I prefer to farm for collections. How do you do that? Quite simple. You fly around Gotham and Metropolis and gather collections and sell those on a broker. It's that simple. I see a lot of people who seems to think that you can make a lot. The way that some people make a lot of money is with time capsules. Not really. Whatever you get from time capsules usually is not worth, unless you're really, really lucky and get the really rare items. At best, some of the rare items in the time capsule might be worth maybe 10 millions. And usually you don't get the rare items. You get the items that are worth 10 millions. So trying to make money opening time capsules, if you're really lucky, yeah, it may actually work. But as a rule of thumb, most of the items you will get from time capsules are not going to be worth that much money. So you're going to make a lot more money farming and farming for collections than actually hoping to make money with time capsules. For the flash boots, you have to be an evil villain. I'll show it to you in just a second. I'll finish the Batwoman mission, and I'll show you a thing or two after that. So sadly, as you saw, we didn't get the Batwoman cape. I didn't have that one. So we got the Visage of the Necropolis, and that's it. And I think I glitched the mission. Oh yeah. So if you go back and play a mission like I just did, try not to kill the boss too quickly. Sadly, I killed our friend Manheim before the question could come in, so I cannot speak with the question. It's sad, but it happens. Now let's get out of here. Yeah, I got a bit lucky with log boxes too. Although sadly, the thing is I wasn't able to sell them. I tried to sell them on a broker, and no one bought them. And I didn't ask that much money, sadly. So let's take a quick look at the flash boots. Oh, right there it is. Oh, it's 5 million. It's worth a bit more than I remembered. One thing I always mention, the prices on the broker changes all the time. So right now, if you're lucky enough to get a pair of flash boots, you could make a quick. You could make 5 million. Quick depends on how lucky you are and how fast you can get such boots. And let me show you how you can go. In this mission, what dropped was the Batwoman cape. But sadly, no Batwoman cape for us. Hello, Zamboodle. Will I ever do a Let's Play? I wasn't under the impression that that's what I was doing. Let's go use our friend, the Evil Zoom. Someday the loading time will stop, not sure when. So if you're playing an evil villain, there is a mission you can play to farm for the flash boots. Not this one. I forget. Oh, there we are. So there is this mission called Old Star Labs. That is where you can farm for the flash boots. There's also another place where you can try and get the flash boots. Let's talk to that little fella later. The take pad gloves for a vigilante. Personally, I think I used I forget what the actual name is. There's the banded gloves. I think that's what the name is. That is perfect for a vigilante. For the tech pad gloves or boots or whatever, I'm not sure. Well, technically, I do have such a walkthrough. If you look at my Blackest Night Batman videos, basically that's what it is. I have I leveled the character from level 1 to level 100 something throughout those videos. So I have quite a few of those, but I did not name them walkthrough. I just named them, let's say Batman, Black Lantern Batman Part 1 or something, or Part 2, or... So I already have quite a few walkthrough videos and gameplay videos. I just did not label them as such. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should make a new series just for that. Okay, for those who are asking about the flash boots. Sorry, thought I heard something. So for those who are wondering about the flash boots, you can either enter the Old Star Lab mission here to farm for the flash boots, or you can go into the on-duty menu and into the old Star Lab mission. It's the very same mission. The distinction is that the old Star Labs, you can do it only once, and here you can do it as long as you want. Basically, you play the mission, you wait, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and then you enter and you play the mission again. So you can play and play and play the mission over and over again if you use a portal. If you use the on-duty menu, you can only play the mission once a day, unless you use replay badges. But there's no point really to use replay badges, since you can enter the old Star Labs anytime you want. Wolverine Part 1 is my very first video ever in the world. The new Resurgence capsules are fine. The idea of adding a free aura, or the idea of having the auras in there, makes some sort of sense. It gives an incentive to people to basically buy 9 time capsules at a time. Like, the nice thing with the time capsules is that you can accumulate them over time. Like you guys may have seen, I have quite a lot of them in my shared bank. So you can accumulate a lot of them, and you can decide to open them slowly but surely. Like, you could decide to open, let's say, 20 time capsules per week, every week. That's okay, Samboodle. Have a good day.
Fall back! Fall back! We need a bigger gun! Done now.
The Future Crusader comes from the original time capsules. It was a bit, it's one of the styles that stayed somewhat expensive for a bit. I suspect it was a pretty popular one. The same with the Batman Beyond style. But again, the prices on the broker change all the time, so I would have to check what's the current price for the Future Crusader style. You don't have to queue up for the solo mission at all. You can do just the walk-in all day long. That's why I showed the entrance, where the entrance was. Like, if you don't want to do it multiple times a day, like, what you could do is that you could just play the mission once a day and hope to get the flash boots, and then sooner or later, if you're lucky, you should be able to get them. Or you go to the walk-in and you do it all day long. So depending on what you want to do, if you just want to do it once, use the on-duty menu. If you want to do it over and over and over, then use the walk-in. And with the walk-in, you can replay it as much as you like.
This can't be happening.
Oh, we got another infinite time capsule.
One of Grodd's usual monkeys. Fall back. Fall back. We need a bigger gun.
So as you can see, if you want to, all your characters can have the infinite time capsules.
Another of Grodd's mindless slaves.
Doesn't really matter. It's only a novelty item.
I need backup. There's something different about this monkey.
From what as far as I know, the chances are the same. Whether you do the walkthrough, whether you do the walk-in, whether you cure for the mission, there's no reason to think that the chances are different. Obviously, I don't have the numbers, so I have no real way to find out if there's a difference between the two or not. But as far as I know, there should be no difference. The only thing I know, though, is that it's a pretty rare item, so the chances of getting it are pretty slim. You're gonna have to play and play and play the mission quite a few times in order to be able to get it. The Deathstroke is the same thing. There's the walk-in mission with the Riddler, where at the end there's the evil Deathstroke who comes to fight the Riddler. That is how you can get it also. If you want to have the Deathstroke chess piece, then you go to the walk-in version of the mission of the Riddler, and you can replay that one over and over again.
Weather forecast for today. Windy, jet.
I miss the feel of your skull again.
This ends now.
Idiot humans. You destroy what you do not understand.
So here is when we should get the flash boots, if we're lucky. And nowadays we have a loot picker, so the odds of getting the flash boots are a tiny bit improved. Sadly, as you can see, we got a tank gloves, we got a Kryptonian chest piece, no flash boots.
You can't hold me for long.
So sadly, you only get a chance of getting the flash boots. You are not guaranteed to get them.
Have to escape. Have to stop you.
But we did get an infinite time capsule. That alone should make it worth it.
Have to escape. Have to stop you.
Let's go back to our multiverse character. Yeah, people are still playing this game. I wouldn't hold my breath for DC Universe Online 2. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen, but I doubt it will happen. No, I don't think that the creators of DCUO will make a Marvel game. I don't think Marvel would want them to do it, and I don't think DC would want them to do it. So nah, I don't think it would. I don't think it would be a good idea. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but right now what we know, Marvel has signed with I forget the name. The people who are doing Final Fantasy and anyway, basically Marvel right now signed with another studio to produce some Marvel games. So Daybreak are not going to produce any Marvel games anytime soon. Let's go to Gotham. And even if we were to get a Marvel game, like I remember when we heard about uh, that Marvel were working on their own MMO. At first, it was the one that became Champions Online. Basically, there was a whole bunch of issues, and Marvel didn't want to do it after all, and so they rebranded the game Champions Online. And then afterwards, we got the infamous Marvel Heroes now. And sadly, a lot of us at the time when we first heard that Marvel were going to make a MMO, a lot of us expected a game not unlike DC Universe Online. We thought they would make a similar type of game at the very least. And that is not even close to what happened. Sadly, the Marvel Heroes game was Diablo, a mixture between Diablo and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, let's say. So it wasn't really an improvement on anything. It wasn't an improvement in terms of MMO. It wasn't an improvement in terms of game. So it really was not an improvement of any kind. So let's assume Daybreak or anyone would announce a Marvel MMO. As far as we could tell, there would be no way to know if it would be half as good as this Universe Online. Aw, you're so mean, Epic Gamer. Why'd you say that? Yeah, I guess an open world Marvel game like DCUO would be fun to have, but the odds of getting that are not very good. Like even if someone decided to make a Marvel MMO, would they decide to make something like DCUO? One thing that kills me is that very often game designers either they'll try to copy a game exactly, like they'll pretty much clone a game and reskin it, or they'll try to not copy a game at all. So if someone decides to make a Marvel game, for example, they could decide to say, okay, let's make it completely different than this Universe Online. And the fact that they would try to do that, I could understand that. But if something works in this Universe Online, don't do the opposite just to be different. If it works, it works. Use it. If it doesn't work, then fine, improve upon it. But odds are, if there was a designer that wanted to make a Marvel game, a Marvel MMO game, sadly, odds are they would try to make it completely different from DC Universe Online, and that could mean anything. So we could end up with a great game that would be different than DC Universe Online, or we could end up with a game that's a mess because it would be trying so hard to be different from DC Universe Online. So at the end of the day, getting a good game is nothing short of a small miracle. Yes, a new Marvel game could be awesome, but will it be? We don't know. Like DC Universe Online 2, technically it should be a good idea to say, okay, let's make DC Universe Online 2. It will be DC Universe Online, but improved, a better version of DC Universe Online. But what if the better version of DC Universe Online does not fit with what you like? Like, let's say you like to be able to customize your character, and they decide to make DC Universe Online and get rid of the character customization. Would you think that, oh yeah, it was really an improvement? Or let's say they decide to make DC Universe Online 2, but they decide to get rid of the open world. All we have are instances. Would you say it's an improvement? Or they decide to make DC Universe Online 2, and they decide to get rid of the PvP completely. Would you say, if you like to play PvP, would you think it's an improvement? Or if you like to play as a villain character and they decided to make this Universe Online 2, but decided to make it only with heroes, no villains, would you think it's an improvement? See, it would be so easy for them to make this Universe Online 2, to, in theory, make a version that would be a better version of the game, but that in practice would end up being not the same game at all, or a worse version of the game. So right now, one thing that kills me, like there's some people who complain like we don't have enough powers. We have 14 powers in this universe online. So that's quite a few different powers. So I'm pretty sure you can find a power that will allow you to create the character that you want. And the same with the roles. If you want to be a healer, a tank, a controller, yeah, these are only three options. But within those three options, you have 14 powers to choose from. And even if you decide to be a tank, a fire tank, quite different than an ice tank, which is quite different than an atomic tank. My favorite superhero? It would have to be the Batman. I don't have a real Batman armory with this guy, but technically the Batman is pretty much my favorite superhero. I would say even my favorite character. Although if I was to give it any real thought, maybe I could think of another character that would be more favorite than Batman, but usually Batman is my default, my go-to answer to that. And how many MMOs allow you to do this? Just this amazes me all the time. Being able to fly in the air and fly usually as high as you want. I know that, and it led in the past. It led to quite a few PvP battles between players. Like when you have to fight, already when you have to fight a player on the ground, there's a certain amount of challenge. But then when you have to fight him in the air, it raises the challenge. Sure, there's always the cheese where people would go right above you, and the spot where you had a hard time trying to target them. Like the players would go right above you like that, and then they would start attacking you, which is a bit of a cheese, I admit. But overall, what other game allows you to do that? To be able to fly like the wind. And the same could be applied with all the other movement. But whenever I can fly around the map like this and look at the map and look at how beautiful the map is, and the moon is so pretty. I always marvel about how awesome it is. Like I see a lot of complaints about this universe online, but which game offers you that? Like all like this, like that? I've seen people where like, I've seen games where sometimes you do fly. You only fly from point A to point B to transition from map to map. But then once you're on the map, you're stuck on the ground like everyone else. Well, here you can fly. You have all the freedom you want to be able to fly all around. And once in a while, I'll do just that. I'll just fly around, gather a collection here, an exhibit there. It's, I don't know, find it very smooth and very relaxing. Sometimes I'll do that in Gotham, sometimes I'll do that in Metropolis. Lately, I've even started doing that in the new Deluge map. So yeah, I see a lot of complaints about DCUO, about all the things they're not doing as well as player would like them to do. But a lot of players forget that it's doing things that no one else is doing, or no one else is doing as well, if you ask me. I understand, like you probably can fly like this in Champions Online, but I've tried Champions Online, and holy crap, I just could not play that game. So you can easily fly around, relax, gather collections if you want to. Like here we got a collection from for the ambush bug character that we can have in our base. The date of the shutdown, I think it'll be sometimes in 2045. I think it'll be a Thursday. I'm not sure. Daytime, nighttime change would have been nice, but it would have been more demanding on the system, I suppose. So they probably tried to give us daytime and nighttime, but nighttime is in Gotham, daytime is in Metropolis. And I think, guys, that's going to be it. I've never played City of Heroes, so I've no real memories of that. I remember that the game. I know the game existed. I remember it, but I never played it myself. I should have played it, but I wasn't much into MMO at the time. I hadn't really played MMOs. I didn't care too much about MMOs. Also, I think I didn't have that much free time to play MMOs way back when, so I did not really play City of Heroes. I heard a lot of good things about that, but I never really played the game. And sadly, it's gone. How did I make it big on YouTube? I'm not sure I would say I made it big. It took me 2.5 years to gather the audience I have. How did I make it big? There's no miracle. You post video every day if you can. You try to post good videos. You try to post videos as often as you can. And that's all you can really do. And you hope that people will like those videos. You hope that people will subscribe. You hope that people will share those videos. If you did a good job, they might. Although they might decide not to do it, even if you did a good job. So the truth is, I couldn't really tell you. The only thing I can really tell you is that I made video daily as much as possible. Sometimes I would make 2 or 3 videos in a day. Although there were times when I could not really make videos, so there was like a 6-month gap where I barely posted anything, and there was another few months where I would post. I had just a couple of videos a week every week, and then I was able to get back to posting videos every day. So ideally, you want to be able to post as often as you can, and you try to make the video as good as you can. Other than that, then you leave it to people. If people like your videos, they're going to watch them, they're going to put likes to them, and they're going to share them. If they don't like your videos, they're going to tell you you're a piece of crap who should stop making videos. It happens. Posting daily is very tough. You said it, Flash Kid. It's very tough. I remember when I started making videos, one of the concerns I had at some point was that what if I run out of ideas of what video to make? And I came out to realize that that's not really a concern, because whenever I wasn't too sure what video I should make, some of you guys would actually make some pretty darn good suggestions. So when I didn't know what video to make, I would look at the suggestion that you guys made, would make one of those videos, and you guys would be very happy with that video. So posting daily has its own challenges. One of the challenges is that you may run out of idea on what to post in terms of videos. But again, if you do a good enough job, people like you guys will feed ideas to the guy making videos. So you guys ask me videos that you guys want to see, and that feeds me into making more videos. So it's pretty much a symbiosis. I'm not sure how to say that. Anyway, we're working in tandem, hand in hand, where I make the content, you guys tell me what content you like, and I try to make more of that. But basically, you have to be perseverant, and you have to be able to produce video often. Oh well, you could run out of ideas at some point, but there's crunch times. Like there's times where basically when there's a lot of content produced really quickly. Like last fall, I couldn't keep up. Like from the time we got water powers to Christmas, I couldn't keep up. There was always something new, always something new. I couldn't make enough videos to be able to supply to the demand. There was so many new stuff added to the game that there was always something new to make videos about. For about during maybe the Valentine's seasonal or a bit after, there was a bit of a lull where there wasn't that much content to make video about. So there are ups and downs. There are times where there's a lot of content to make video about, and sometimes you have to scrape sometimes the bottom of the barrel to find an idea to make a video. But obviously, what you could end up doing, you just make one live stream every day. You plug in, do a live stream, talk with people, and that could be the one video a day. So there's quite a few ways to be able to get one video a day, and sometimes it's thanks to your suggestion, guys. And sometimes also it depends on DC Universe Online. If they produce a lot of new content, then that gives you a lot of new materials to make video with. If there's a long while where they don't produce any new content, then yeah, it does create a bit of a drought that doesn't allow you to create that much new content. Well, Atlantean Mania should be right now. But yeah, right now and during the summer, there'll probably be a bit of Atlantean Mania. I tried the Knights of the Old Republic. Basically, they have a 4 character class. And there's the good version and there's the evil version. So if you want to be technical, you could say they have 8 character classes. But in truth, they only have a 4 character class. And even then, amongst the 4, there's 2 of them that could almost be one class. So they pretty much have 3 character classes, if you ask me. So there's the Knights of the Old Republic. I tried it. It was okay, but it was one of those games where I thought it was one step further, one step back compared to how new games. Like one thing that drives me nuts with new games. Oh, let's pick up that Freaks a bit, and I'll show you afterwards. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you were there. Like once you get used to DC Universe Online, you get used to being able to do this. It may seem silly, but in many games, you cannot do just that. In many games, you walk with your character, you walk, and then you reach this point, and oh, you cannot go any further. And if it's a wall like that, I can understand. I say, okay, not a big deal. But there are many games. I'm not sure if I can find. Oh, it's over there. I think I'll find a good example there. There are many games where you barely see a tiny thing, a tiny bump in the road, and you cannot get over it. Like there are games when you would reach this point and you cannot go any further because there's this tiny bump in the road that prevents you from going any further. So you have to go around. Even though if technically you should be able to do this with your character and go over that, but there's many games. Knights of the Old Republic is one of those. Like there's many games where you cannot go over obstacles that are this small, and that drives me nuts now. And that's something that DC Universe Online got me used to. Like DC Universe Online got me used to being able to go over an entire building if I want to. Like an entire building is not even an obstacle in DC Universe Online. If you're an acrobat, you climb on the building and you jump over it. If you're a speedster, you run up the building. If you're a flyer, you just fly above the building and bypass it. But there's so many games, and at some point I tried to play other games in DC Universe Online because I was looking for other games to play. And holy crap! Whenever I would end up with a game where there was a tiny obstacle like that little piece of rock right there that would stop me from going further. It would drive me nuts, and that would happen even in the open world like this. Like it could be like something just like the sidewalk, like the little step here of the sidewalk. There's games where you could not go over that. You would have to go around it in order to be able to go any further. That drove me nuts. I haven't done any collaborations just yet. I haven't really had serious people who ask me to do that. Someone asked me once maybe to do a collaboration. I said, yeah, we could do something, and nothing ever came out of that. But no, I haven't done any collaborations just yet. My favorite power would have to be quantum. One of the reasons would probably be the quantum tunneling. I love this power for some crazy reason. But also, I also love the quantum power is a pretty darn good crowd control power. Even if you play as a TPS, your crowd controllers are still pretty powerful. So yeah, quantum would probably have to be my favorite power. It's alright for the many questions. It's fine. Gadget is the first power I played, and I had a hard time mastering it. So if I had started playing this Universe Online with another power, it probably would have been a bit better for me. Ideally, I should have started playing DC Universe Online with Mental. Mental was probably a better power for me at the time. And then later on, they added the Quantum, and the Quantum then became the better power, I suppose. So I think this is going to be it for today. Not sure what I'll do next. There's quite a few videos I should probably be doing. I'll see what I can do about that. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Tomorrow, we'll try to live stream at the same time. Usually I live stream from Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. So in case, if you guys aren't sure, take a look at 5 p.m. Sometimes I'll live stream a bit later for reasons. Like today, I think I started at 5:30. But usually around 5 p.m., take a look. If you see I'm doing a live stream, come over. I'm always happy to see you guys. I do have a video about gadgets. I'm not sure if I have a video about troll gadgets. I would have to look it up. But yeah, I could probably make one of those videos, Tyler. I'll see what I can do about that. So that's going to be it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.